Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday, freezing cold, a blistering 38 degrees, partly sunny, which also means partly cloudy in my neck of the woods. Um, it's also sporadically raining, so um, playing with the Wi-Fi today may be fun. I'm also not feeling too well, so I'm going to do the live as best I can. It may be shorter than anticipated. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how my gut cooperates or not this morning or this afternoon. So yeah, I was noticing too that I need to replace my washi tape here. This is my barrier so that I know when I'm in frame. But for whatever reason, this one's way over here now. This one's here, my edge of the table here. I think it's the orientation of my phone, but that's neither here nor there. So today we're just going to show you some different folding pockets that you can use in your junk journal. And I've decided that this journal that we started together a long time ago, I'm going to use this as my idea journal. Sorry, I had a random window kept popping up on my computer. It was blocking my screen. So we've added some stuff in here already along the way. I showed you this pocket is a wraparound made out of an envelope. Belly band made out of a book page. You can slide something under here. Oh, see, I'm already frozen up. What is going on with my... Hold on. My phone shut itself off, apparently. This was a pocket that I used. It is an envelope. The base of it is an envelope. But what I've used to cover it and decorate it is the insides of envelopes. I think I've shown these before. Corner pockets, corner tucks. Oh. Sorry, I was trying to get this off my shelf without pulling my shelf out of the wall. So this little embellishment here is beginning from, I made this snippet roll, which basically you're just using a base paper. So in this case, I had a roll of cash register tape, and you just lay your bases down, and there's all kinds of different ways you can do a snippet roll. Different styles, different supplies you can use. Started this again using that massive bag of neutral toned papers, collage papers, and then glued it on, added some of my my own painted and splatter painted papers. This is book page that I gessoed a long time ago, and then I sewed it in both directions. I fought a lot with my sewing machine this morning. Between running out of thread, running out of bobbin thread, top thread getting stuck, it was a mess. But my snippet roll is 67 feet long. So when you're making a cluster like this, you just come to your little snippet roll, snip, hence the name, you snip it off, and then you decorate that little piece. You add embellishments to it. So in this case, I added a piece of lace that was I showed yesterday. This walnut stain. I finally remembered the name of the ink that I used. I cut out one of these large flowers out of this walnut stain ribbon, and then one of my fussy cuts, and I inked it again with that walnut stain, get rid of the white, and glued that together, and that just makes just a cute little embellishment for the page. It's non-functional. It doesn't do anything other than look cute. Let's see, what else do we have going in here? We haven't looked at this book in a while, so I figured we'd do a quick update. I don't think we have anything else. This was a flip out, again made out of an envelope with the tag that goes inside. You can see through the window. You can see your tag. This is a paper ruffle. This one is not sewn, it's just glued. And literally all you're doing is accordion folding the paper, a piece of paper, to make it decorative. And I glued each flap down. You can also run this through a sewing machine. I've got, let me see if I can, let's see if I can reach them. Yep, there we go. So I've got these little mini ones that I've done. And with these, these are strips of scrap paper, and I stamped them before I folded them, and then ran a stitch down the center. So it gives just different, different looks to them. And again, you just, it becomes just a decorative edge to your page. You guys may remember this. So this is a pocket, a little notebook, and then this is a pocket. This was a pocket made out of an oatmeal bag tag, and then this folds out into a secret writing space. It folds up to look like a little envelope. Pocket made out of book page. Again, pockets made out of book pages. Grab something to use here. So you got a pocket here, and this is just one long sheet of paper folded back on itself to make individual pockets. An envelope, again, you can see the window there. Cut open, decorated on both sides, and then wrapped around the page to become a pocket on each side. Another belly band. And this actually is guest check, like you get in restaurants, and it's covered with a napkin. So it's very texture feeling. You guys saw these videos the other day. This is the one that I messed up on. If you remember right, usually when you pull the card out, you see the inside of the envelope. In this case, you don't, because I was watching a live while I was doing this one. I wasn't really paying attention. And I actually glued, so this solid piece of paper here, instead of gluing it to the back of the envelope, I actually glued it to the front. So it's glued up against the window. So the window was no longer a window. So I figured, it'll go in my idea book because, yeah, it's not really functional as it was initially intended to be. Just a little fold out writing space. Again, this is made with book pages. I don't know if we have anything in this last signature. doesn't feel like it. Usually you can kind of, by bending the pages, you can feel whether there's something there other than, you know, just paper. But I don't feel any stiffness, so I don't think there's anything. Yeah, we haven't added anything into that back signature. So I'm going to set this aside for now. I think I have 5, 6, maybe 7 different types of folded envelopes that I'm going to show you during this video. I feel like my camera moved on me. Oh, okay. I guess you're here. I was wondering when you were going to show up. So this is one that I made a long time ago. This is using a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And it's a pretty simple fold. And so I use this as a sample. I have a whole stack of computer paper that I don't necessarily like. So I coffee dyed all of them. So I'd have non-white coffee dye paper that I could use. So in this case, I folded this down, and you'd have to do that. If you're doing the 12 by 12, you're going to have to do that anyway, because otherwise it's going to be too tall for most journals. But fold this down. Hi, Sissy Pet.
Emma wanted to scare you. I was like, no, we're not going to do that.
Well, the other one's been doing it to me. I glue that down just to get it in place. You're going to glue, or not glue this side. You're going to fold this side up, because this is creating your pockets. Fold it in half. And when you open it back up, you're going to fold in your 2 sides. So what you end up with, once it's all done, and then you're, this is where the glue does come in, is that you're going to glue down the side, make sure I'm in frame, along the fold here, along the fold here. So what you're doing is sealing up these pockets. This one, not necessarily. If you're going to glue it into or sew it into the center of a journal, you won't need to glue that center one because you'll be sewing it in, and that will make these into 2 separate pockets. Should go this way. That way I don't spread my glue in odd directions.
Flip everybody off while you do it.
I know. Shush it.
I do the same thing.
So once your glue is dry, you'll have the skinny pocket here and the skinny pocket here. Plus you'll have 2 bigger pockets here and here. Now you'll notice on this one, I put book page on the edges here. And that is primarily because when you fold the paper over, it tends to translate one direction or the other. So I just add that decorative edge so I don't have to worry about the unevenness of this edge of the pocket. So it just kind of gives it, some decoration. So that's one just simple folded pocket. Do what?
What? I'm making that when I get home.
I'm going to not sew this, because I can't sew it. My signatures for this one are already sewn in, obviously. So I'm just going to glue the back and glue it into the center of that last signature.
Washed it here.
Yeah, you could have washed your laundry here. So when you open it up, you'll have pocket, pocket, pocket. Lots of fun. I don't remember where I learned that one. I've had that one in my stash for a while, so I can't remember where I saw it first. These other pockets I have at the name of the content creator that I watched. And so I will put them in the description box as well. So you can go check them out on your own. So this is a fun little fold. This is done again with one of these just regular copy papers, decorated copy papers. So you can see it. Ideally, if you have a double-sided paper, not too bad, or one that you don't mind what shows through. But you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. And depending on how you glue it into the book, you may have a 5th pocket, because you could glue it just across the top side and then have a side pocket. Can't really go to the top. You could do the top, but you're going to get caught up unless you really glue some of this down. But this just, or you cannot even glue it. If you want this pocket to stay a pocket and not have your stuff fall out the bottom, you'll need to run a bead of glue down here, or you can leave it so it can open up, and then you can add more pockets on the insides of the folds. Again, as always in junk journaling, crafter discretion. Now, if you're OCD and you need your points to be even, you're going to need some sort of measuring device. And it's not for measuring, it's just to make sure that your points line up. That's all it is. Otherwise, if you don't care, if you want them to be all cattywampus, just fold. But all you're really doing is bringing your papers, so your points are at the same side. So if you don't measure them, you might end up with a point like, way up here, depends on what look you like. But if you want them even, just have some sort of thing that's got a straight edge on it that you can measure against. And again, this is the original paper. Not a big fan of yellow. So I just kind of put that and I go 2 inches over. I think I'm going to go a little more narrow. Get my points on this one a little closer together. And that's all that's for. It's just to make sure my points connect. Along this bottom edge, folding that down. But you don't want to crease it just yet because you got to be able to fold it in on itself. So you want to make sure that my brain is not wrapping itself around this concept right now. I'm going to fold that end up. And again, lining up this bottom edge over to you don't want to go past that. Otherwise, you're going to have difficulty tucking that in. Just fold that over. Again, you're going to tuck that in, and there creates your pockets. 1, 2, and again, if you want this to be a solid pocket, don't forget you got to glue down here. Otherwise, whatever you put in is going to go right back out. And then you have this back pocket back here.
That's cute too.
I'm not going to glue that right now because, again, I want this to be as a sample book or as a sample pocket. So I want to be able to keep those ideas open. What's cute? This?
Yeah.
See, there's more to pockets than just, the standard square rectangle corner.
I don't know what you're talking about. Those are the only ones I know. And then I just sit down and watch all your videos.
Let's see if I can find a place to put this. This is the problem that I am running into with using this as my idea book, is that because we paper punched the edges, as a lot of my pages are much more narrow than they normally are. So stuff doesn't quite fit the way they normally would. So I have to kind of finagle my way around. Glue that in. So this was one of the folds that I learned from Pam at the Paper Outpost. Her web channel, her channel, YouTube channel, is actually called the Paper Outpost. She also has like a Spotify podcast. She's got a Facebook page. Lots of different areas. She's very eclectic. She does junk journaling in the true fashion of the word, you know. And she just chunks out all of her journals. She has a whole series of using up book pages. In fact, that was I don't know. I think this was from her page. There's been some other pockets that I've shown that I know I got from Pam. Just as a fair warning, there's a lizard trying to attack me. Just as a fair warning, if you do go and listen to Pam, she's got 2 lovebirds and an African parrot, I think is what it is.
I wonder if it's blue or gray.
And they're very loud. So if you don't like the sound of birds, watch your stuff on mute. Otherwise, you're going to be hearing them the entire video.
That's why I don't do lives.
This next one is 2 different versions of the same technique. And I got these off of another group called, her page is Treasure Books. I don't know her real name. Most of the people, I don't know their real names. I know Pam's because that's literally how she comes onto her channel. Hi, this is Pam at the Paper Outpost. So there's other ones like, you know, Gail Agastinelli. Obviously, her first name is Gail. And Miss E was scrapbooking with me. Her first name is Edith. So there's some that I know, but not a lot. So both of these start by taking your sheet of paper and folding it half lengthwise. The size of the paper doesn't matter. You can do this with any size. You just want it to be longer than it is wide. You have 2 different options. You can fold it so your top is even. Or just a little bit lower so you have some gradation here. I'm going to go a little bit higher here. And again, because these are only folded in half, I'm probably going to have some difficulty getting them into my idea book, but that's okay. This part, super simple. You're going to fold this first flap down, lining up what used to be your top, now with your side on that folded edge. Next one, so you got your four corners. You're going to fold this one down, but not all the way over. Give it just a skosh of a ledge there. Same with the next one. And then the next one. So you end up with 1, 2, 3 folds. Now here's where your decision making comes in. And again, crafter's choice. You can fold your flaps in and have the decoration showing through. I've seen people fold this up and then decorate this little flap here. You can leave this open as a writing space. You can glue it down. I actually don't like them all showing, so I come in and I fold them all back on themselves. And in this case, you're going to see some of the Santa coming through because you can't really avoid that. And then just a quick glue. And this provides structure, especially on those folding edges of your pockets. Just a single sheet of copy paper, you're more likely to tear your pocket as you're pulling tags and ephemera and stuff in and out of the pockets. So even if you don't do the whole flap, and you to reduce bulk, you can cut the tip off and just have a little, like a half-inch flap there to glue down so that you still have that extra structure on the folding edge without having all the bulk. Here's some little snickering going on behind me. Just cut the tip. So again, I've seen people sew along this edge and this edge just to give it some decoration. It doesn't change the form or the function of the pocket in any way, shape, or form. But you do want to seal it in some way. Otherwise, what goes in this way goes out that way. And you don't really have a pocket. You have a slide through. And this is where your decisions come into play again. Some people choose to leave these open because it's easier to slide stuff in and out. Or glue along each of these edges to make them like full unsealed pockets. So you have to go in from the top. Personal choice. And because it's funny that 8.5 by 11 papers don't fold up straight. My edges are not straight no matter what I do. So there's one, and then I'll show you what it looks like when you have them not even.
Well, but you're trying to be all sneaky. I grabbed the crinkliest paper.
What are you trying to be sneaky about back there?
Following your tutorials.
Oh.
Oh, and then this one.
Well, in all fairness, you are sitting next to my shelf of coffee dyed paper, so if you find something there that's not crinkly, I would be shocked. So again, my personal choice is gluing these flaps down. I don't like looking at them. I'm glad she's finally happy that her mom is here. All morning she's been telling me to tell her to stay home. She didn't want her to come today. I'm like, but your mommy and your daddy and your sister miss you. She's like, no, they don't. Argumentative little, almost 5-year-old.
It's your birthday, huh? She goes, it's for your birthday. It's your birthday, huh?
So I'm just going to run, this is my black dauber, just so you can see this edge. And this could also be a personal choice. Some people really love to have the edges of these pockets inked up. But by inking them up, you can see the difference in where the pockets lay here versus this one. And I've used the ink dauber on a couple other ones just so you can see where things are being folded. But my dauber's getting a little light on the ink. I'm gonna have to re-ink it. So flush top versus a metered top. I would sew these, but I think I did enough screaming and yelling at my sewing machine this morning, sewing 67 feet of snippet roll, that I think if I took my sewing machine back out, I would probably literally take it out, as in like out of my freaking house. Because
whack it like a mop.
When the 5-year-old is coming in and telling you it's time to put it away, there might be a problem happening. She's like, Grandma, you so mad. Why are you so mad?
Why you gotta be so rude?
Oh, that was what she was saying to Grandpa last night.
Well,
he was not her favorite person. First at 9:20, he told her it was too late for her to have anything to eat.
there's your first time for everything, right?
And then at 10:30, as he was going to bed, she wanted, he turned his laptop off finally. So because he was going to bed. And so she asked if she could play bouncy ball. And he goes, no, it's too late. So the person that stays up until 3 o'clock in the morning every weekend playing video games has now determined that 10:30 is too late for somebody else to play a video game. So she came in and she was upset, and Grandpa's being rude and he's grumpy and he's mean and so on and so forth. And I said, just let Grandpa go to sleep and then I'll let you play the game. So I'm sitting in here working on stuff, and in comes this quiet little voice, and she says, Grandma's asleep. Can I play bouncy ball now? She actually went to the bedroom and checked to make sure that he was asleep. She is a sneaky little turd.
Never change, bud.
Oops, I shouldn't have glued this one. I can't really take it apart, but trifold pocket. It creates a pocket here and here, and then you have a choice. You can either make it a third pocket by gluing on your sides here and turning this into a pocket, or you can leave it, glue this side down into the book and leave it so this flips open, and then you have a writing space. So in case you haven't caught on, there's always more than one option. So this is done one single sheet of coffee dyed copy paper. You're going to measure the same distance from the top and the bottom on opposing sides. And that is determining how tall this front pocket is going to be. So in this case, I did 2 inches from this corner and 2 inches from this top corner. And then you're cutting diagonal between those 2 points. And that gives you your paper to make 2 different pockets. So you end up with 2 pieces that look like this. Simple folding. Take the short end. I'm going to go this way. I'm going to make this pocket go the opposite direction. You're going to fold it all the way across. And then fold it back upon itself. Yay, and this actually covers up that graduation cap. I forget what they're called. They have an official name, but so again, folding it all the way across and folding it back on itself. flip it over and fold this over to that long edge. Now you could choose to leave it like this. I've seen people do that. Downside to that, obviously, is the height. If you like things sticking out of the tops of your journal, which some people do, they like to have like tags and lace pieces, various things sticking out of the top or out of the bottom of the journal. You can certainly leave your pocket just like this. And when you glue it down, you'll end up with 3 different pockets here, plus your optional 4th pocket. Not a look I like. So I'm just going to cut this little triangle top off. Try to do it straight for starters. Yeah, I don't cut straight with scissors. That's why I don't cut with scissors.
Your lines are as straight as you go. Oh.
And then again, you're going to glue the bottom and the short edge. And that creates this front pocket. The edge and the bottom to create this next pocket. I really should have a dry baby wipe out here because I'm getting glue everywhere. I don't even know if I have one.
You have like a whole glue book?
I do have a whole glue book. You are correct.
Why aren't you using it, madam?
Because
I'll stick the lizard on you.
for starters,
You don't know where it is.
I don't know where it's at. Oh, it's right here. Underneath my baby wipes.
Look, I helped you find both.
Clean my table off. Ignore my glue book. It's very, if you zoom in on it, you're going to get some sexual education because it is my, it was one of my donated books from the Passion Party people. So the wording can be quite racy. So if you want some sexual education, feel free to zoom in. So again, crafter's choice. I'm not a big fan of long tags. I'm actually going to trim this here. Changed my mind there a little bit. Oh, my glue's leaking because I filled it up earlier. And I'm going to glue the top here and the bottom here. I'm going to turn that into a side pocket. I'll show you something else I'm going to do while I'm at it. I'm going to glue it into the book. I still should have a dry wipe because I'm getting glue all over my hands as well. But it is what it is. Just cut my cord. All right, so keep in mind we now have a pocket here, a pocket here. My glue's not dry, so I keep accidentally opening my pockets, and a pocket here. Right? I'm going to glue it on this, and this edge and make it also a side pocket. So I end up with 4 places to put decorations. I have skinny pages in here that really serve no purpose other than yeah, that won't work. I need it to be on a big page. I guess it doesn't matter where I glue stuff, does it? Oops, wrong glue. So I want it to be on. Yeah. So trick that you can use to make sure you don't accidentally glue the wrong side is the side you don't want to glue. That's the side you want to hold with your fingers. Because that tells your brain, don't put glue there. So making the standard U shape. Gluing this down. Now, the content creator that I got this video from, or this idea from, I have no idea how to literally, really how to pronounce her name. My best guess is Shanuki. It's Shanouki art. So hopefully I'm not butchering her name. And this one, I'm actually going to just glue straight onto the page so that the pockets will flip out and turns into a hidden writing spot. Let me get my glue book. I definitely need to do an episode or two at least on like what I do with all my glue pages as well, because those are stacking up on me. And I remember what page I had this initially going on, but whatever. So I'm just gluing down that first half because obviously I want it to be able to fold open, right? So this folds open. You can journal in here. Easier if you're right-handed. If you're a lefty like me, you got to turn the whole thing sideways. Then it folds up and you still have your two pockets. So again, it's Shanouki, Shanouki art. And again, these will all be tagged in the description box. So I have 2 more left to show you. 3 more. Take that back. 3 more. Very simple. And again, it's just folding. Just folding your papers. This is Rachel and Bella Crafts. Rach and Bella, RACHANDBELLA, all one word. This one's really easy if you've got paper that you don't like the inside of. Again, it's a good use for when you end up with a bunch of computer paper that you don't like. You could use it stark white if you choose, and these would definitely fold up better if they were ironed flat, but they're not, so they're a little wobbly and bumpy and whatnot. You're going to fold it in half lengthwise, and then in thirds. I guess it's, yeah, in half lengthwise, and then you're going to fold it in thirds. You don't want these to be as precise as you could possibly, maybe, hopefully get. Back up just a smidge here, I think I'm good. So again, into your thirds. And remember, paper will always translate when you fold it. It's not, paper is not not meant to be folded. So you have a line here, right? You have your fold line here, a fold line right here. You can't really tell. And a fold line right there. You're going to take your corner and fold up toward that first fold line. As close to it as you can without going over it. This is also where it comes in handy to ink them, because then if you're blind like myself, if you ink the line, you can actually see the line. So you're going to do this on all four corners. I can't see the line again. You folded it to the wrong line?
Mm-hmm. I folded it to the middle line instead of the 3.
Well, and it's funny because this Rach and Bella Crafts, they are in a different country. And so their standard paper sizes are different than ours. And so when she folds up like this, her corners up here meet. And I'm like,
probably, excuse me, probably an A4 maybe.
Yeah, theirs is A4. Their standard is A4. And I'm like,
A4's the best.
I'm like, oh, I didn't really give that much thought that, different countries that the papers would be different sizes. But it's okay. I don't mind the look that this ends up giving, that it creates a flat edge versus a pointed edge. I personally don't mind it.
See what it's doing.
So you're going to fold your four corners in and then fold it back up in half. So you end up with this, what's this, a parallelogram? Trapezoid-esque. But you have your fold lines still. So you're going to fold against those. And remember, paper likes to translate. So you got to try to nurse it into the position you want it to be in, because it's going to want to go where it's going to want to go, and it may not necessarily coincide with where you want it to go.
Paper did make a very good napkin.
Paper didn't make a good napkin?
I spilled coffee, and I'm using paper to clean it up.
Oh. Did you come in and make yourself a cup of coffee already?
The only thing we have at my house right now is Folgers.
So simple Simon. Left over right, right over left. Doesn't matter. Lefties tend to go left over right. Righties tend to go right over left.
Mine had words on it, so I just covered up the words.
And you're going to tuck one flap inside the other. Voila. Simple pocket. So you've got this section here where you tucked, right? So that you could leave open and leave that as a pocket if you choose. Same with this here, because you have where it was folded. This could be its own pocket, or you can glue them together. Depends on how many tags and stuff you want to make. You could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and possibly even 6, depending on how you glue this into the book. Also, just like that other one, too, if you're going to use this back one as a pocket, you're going to want to glue down here. Otherwise, what goes in goes straight on out. Watch. It goes in and it goes out. So if you want this center one to be a pocket, glue your center. But if you don't glue that and your flaps can stay open, they can keep opening, you can open this up and put a pocket here, a pocket of some sort here, a pocket here. And this one little piece of paper can turn into 8 pockets in one single piece of paper. So, lots of fun.
Can you imagine being the kind of person who doesn't get excited about crafting things? 8 pockets. It's like me with coats.
Or tags. My daughter is a tag
I
fanatic.
don't know what you're talking about.
She loves tags
And bookmarks.
and bookmarks.
I love making bookmarks that I never use because I don't have time to read. Should have just said I don't know how to read. Would have been funnier.
So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this straight down. No, because then I eliminate the idea that there could also be a back pocket. So standard U shape, sides and the bottom. If you want this to stay a pocket, don't glue that top ledge. And don't put any glue in the center. Otherwise, you don't have a pocket. You've now glued it solidly to your page. My glue dribbled on itself. Get this gluing in here. What are they playing out there?
I have no idea. Just playing the stress games, but she went through and put stars on all of them.
So yes, my little bottle, it likes to lay, so I leave this dry glue all over the rim of it. Because it tends to seal it eventually after I've refilled my bottle, which I had to do this morning. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had glue for this live, because 5-year-olds have no concept of not flooding the glue.
No.
So she darn near emptied my bottle last night to glue 3 things into her little journal. How you doing back there? You keeping up?
What? No? What? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not here. I'm in the chat.
So this next one, she started off with this top half, which is called a tuxedo fold. She kind of altered it to be her own, which is pretty typical of 49 Dragonflies. I know her name, but it's not coming to me at the moment. In fact, the 49 Dragonflies is the content creator that collaborated with Louisa Heinzel that did the Defember for the month of December, doing the prompted ephemera dailies. She was, it's hard to say, Defember. And so she does tend to, she watches a lot of other creators, takes their idea and then alters it to be her own thing.
With crochet patterns.
Yes, very similar to what you do with crochet patterns. Absolutely. This one is hard. There was really no way to do this where using this paper that I have, where the original image doesn't show through. But one of the things that you can do is add a strip, which I think I will do this time around, just to cover up what's going to be showing of the Santa Claus.
Paper's cool.
Huh?
The Santa paper. It's kind of awesome.
You like my Santa paper?
Yes.
Well, and I did it primarily, because then I could cut this center out and have that coffee dyed white, if nothing else. But yeah. So this one, I was trying to remember. You're going to fold it in thirds across the width. Now, some people, I've seen crafters. Why do I feel like I'm doing this wrong? Because I am doing this wrong. Across the length of it, you're going to go in thirds. I've seen some crafters be very successful at finding the third of their paper by folding it like this and being able to look down it. that frustrates the living daylights out of me because I don't seem to be able to hold it well enough to not lose what I'm trying to do.
She says as the person behind her does exactly that.
So I just kind of have to hold it and just keep adjusting. Are you one of those foldy people?
Not very good at it, but I find it easier to kind of make it a tube and then squeeze the tube, basically.
Yeah, see, I can't do that. Yeah.
I mean, it still ends up uneven most of the time, but I think it's easier than trying to keep.
Okay.
I mean, it's straight enough.
It's definitely quicker if you can figure out how to do it by the tube. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me.
To each their own.
And again, if you've got a one-sided page and you want to disguise this, you want to make sure that it is the inside of your piece as you start.
I folded it the wrong way.
Well,
I folded
yes.
it hot dog. Are you supposed to fold it hot dog or hamburger?
Huh?
Hot dog or hamburger?
Okay, hamburger.
Oh, yeah, I folded it the wrong way. I put in all that work and it was wrong.
Do you need me to wait for you to catch up?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
In worst case scenario, I rewind the video.
Yep, absolutely. So from here, and again, if you are blind like me, you have a really hard time seeing these lines, especially on white paper. So again, I'm going to darken them for you, but also for me. So you're going to fold your corners in to meet just to the side of it. You don't want it to be on it, otherwise it's going to interfere with your fold. Okay, so just to the left or just to the right of that fold line. Now, in a true tuxedo pocket, you would do it like this, and the original, and you would just cut it off here, and this would actually have it for a second pocket. But what 49 Dragonflies did was she left it like this, and she actually folded this up and created, guess what? More pockets. So, but if you look, you can see a little bit of the Santa paper coming through. My goal right now is to hide that this was Santa paper to begin with. So I'm going to reach into my bag of collage fodder that I still swear I'm never going to be finished with. In fact, I told my daughter that I'm almost to the point where I'm just going to take the whole bag and just throw it in the garbage because I'm sick of looking at it. Because even though I've done an entire book of collage pages and I did 20 something envelopes, policy envelopes with this. I did 67 feet of snippet roll with this. I still have probably 6 inches of collage pieces at the base of that paper bag. And I'm really getting tired of looking at it and dealing with it. So you're not going to see much of this. So you could be like me and be like, oh, let's make sure that it's contrasty, but you're really not going to see that much of it. It's more just covering up for the purpose of covering up what the original paper was. Sorry, laughing at the grandkids in the other room. Rawr. I was saying that I'm glad that she's glad you're here now that you're here, because she's been telling me all morning that she wanted me to call you and tell you not to come because she wasn't ready to go home yet.
Oh,
Tell mommy no. I'm like,
too bad.
I'm not going to tell mommy no. I said, your mommy misses you, your daddy misses you, and your sissy misses you. And she's like, no.
Yeah, you got a whole room to clean up on.
I'm like, well, too bad.
I might have taken some creative liberty over here.
Hey, you know,
It happens.
yeah. There is no really creative liberty when it comes to this because it's crafting. It's however, however your brain wants.
So the other crocheter that I met, right? For the sake of leaving her name off the internet, she was like, "Oh yeah, you give me a pattern and I can make pretty much anything." And I was like, "See, I'm funny in that way because you give me a pattern and I can make pretty much anything too, but it's not going to be what the pattern was for." She kind of looked at me and she's like, "What do you mean?" And I had showed her a couple pictures and it was like the brown bunny and she was like, "Yeah." And it was like the pattern was for a lion. She's like, "Oh."
Yep. So you're gonna put some glue up both of these sides because you're going to sealing this outer edge of your pockets. Or glue on my finger. So far, all of your folding is going towards the paper you're trying to disguise. Not for long. Because the magic is about to happen. Right? Flip it over. Here's your fold lines. Fold it in. And fold it in. Oops, I gotta go in the opposite direction. Get your creases going. So you can see where I covered, right? So again, decisions to be made. Okay. You can glue these flaps down and just decorate them as, lapels. Again, keep in mind, it's the tuxedo fold, right? Glue the flaps down, decorate them like as if they're lapels. Okay. You can leave them unfolded. I've seen people put squares. I was looking around to see if I had any real close. So pretend this is a square. It's more like a rectangle, but or it is a rectangle, not more like one. It is one. That's right. I know how to turn a rectangle into a square. And obviously this is going to be smaller than, what you would want because it's not what we're supposed to be. But you cut a square out and then glue it in underneath the flap. And then this would open and you would only glue one side. And then this would open up and create a writing space hidden underneath the flap. Right? And you can either decorate this or leave it plain, which also creates its own writing space. Now, again, if you were trying to cover this and hide it, instead of doing just this strip, you would go all the way up. For me, I would glue it down just because I don't want to have to deal with all the flaps. If I was using this paper, if it was a decorative paper that I didn't mind the look of, I would leave the flap open and then do this technique underneath it. But what you end up with, and the same goes on the back. Let me step back a sec. Same with on the back. If you are gluing this into your book, you don't have to worry about this back page. But what you're doing is you're also eliminating this pocket. So if you want this to just be like an insert that you would clip in with an altered paper clip or a bulldog clip, or even sliding into another pocket, clearly you would want to decorate this back piece and cover that if that's what your design was to do, was to cover up what the original paper was. But it then opens up as well. And again, you have those options to put pockets here, here, here. So just in this, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets, right? And then you just decorate her up. I don't know if I have a, oh, I do. I'm like, I don't know if I have not a safety pin, paper clip, but I do.
My creative liberties weren't that creative liberty because it still ended up pretty much the same thing as the one that you made.
So you just clip it in like this, and then it pulls out. You got all your little pockets there. So again, that's 49 dragonflies. What did yours turn out like? Oh, your hair's all wavy.
Yeah, I braided it last night. See, I just did like, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Except mine has leaves on it.
What is this Bing window doing? My Bing window is opening. I'm like, I don't need no Bing window.
I heard bean, like refried bean.
Oh, nope.
Maybe I'm just hungry.
Maybe. I do have refried beans in the
Oh,
pantry
no.
if, you want some.
Hell no, I don't.
Your daughter has just about eaten me out of cereal. No surprise there.
None at all.
Tried to get her something different for breakfast, made her bacon and eggs and toast. She put all of her bacon on her bread, then ate the top piece of bread and didn't eat the bacon or the eggs.
She's such a weirdo.
And then asked for cereal. I'm like, okay.
I love that kid.
Oh, yes.
Hope she stays weird forever.
So this last one is from Tina, Shabby Dabby Doodah. By far one of my favorite creators. I love her accent. She's from the UK. She wears these, what's the word I'm looking for? Massive rings that subscribers have actually started collecting, purchasing, and sending to her. Very decorative. I always fear for her sometimes because she's usually wearing some sort of cute sweater and you can see the sleeves. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna drag it in her glue. But she's very frilly and fluffy. She works a lot with lace, works a lot with like Victorian images, bows, and that, that kind of stuff. So depending on what your aesthetic is, and if you struggle like I do, that's really my only trouble in watching Shabby Dabby Doodah is that I struggle with taking somebody's idea and making it to my aesthetic. So I'm not super frilly, ruffly. That's not really my jam. So when I see something that's got lots of frills and ruffles and, and it's all decked out in pink, and I'm like, how do I alter that to something that I like, but using the same basic structure? So I do kind of struggle with her with that. G. Kerr and Angela Kerr, same way. They do lots of florals, lots of lace, lots of trims. And I'm like, let me see if I can figure out how to make this so that I like it. make it fit within what I do.
It's so funny because sometimes I see ones that are all pink and lacy and frilly and girly, and I really like them. And then you look at me as a person, and it's like,
You know, and I love lace. I mean, I've got 5 drawers of lace over there. But, you know, I'm not even, yeah.
You missed me.
This is not going to work for this.
I'm gonna steal that lace dyeing technique thing or whatever, but I have those alcohol inks you gave me. I might just be able to boop, boop, into some liquid and
Maybe. And that was Tina. Again, Chevy did. And that's why I have this plastic bag here, because the first one I did the walnut stain, and then I did the peacock feathers. And I didn't put my and I looked down, I'm like, oh my gosh. It took like 3 days to get the ink off my hands, and I'm like, okay. So when I did the pink, I used the gallon Ziploc bag as a glove.
Hey, whatever works.
And now I'm thinking, duh, why not just open the bag, ink the inside of the bag, spritz the water in there, throw the lace and seal it, and knead the bag.
Have Dad go to the dollar store and pick you up some clothes.
So yeah. Anyway. So last one, again, this is Tina. So here we are again, trying to find that third, folding it hamburger style. I'm gonna try to tube. Not sure how this one's going to turn out with the printing that's on it, but we'll see.
Oh, my poop has let me down.
I loved how it turned out with this sunset paper. And it's going to be cool. Makes a cool pocket. So folding in thirds. You're going to open it up, and on one of your edges, I guess on this page it doesn't really matter necessarily. I guess it depends on what you want to be visible on the front. This has the least amount of color, so I think this would be the one to fold. I'm going to use that one as the fold down. So you're going to fold this top edge down. Doesn't really matter how far you go. That just determines how tall your pocket is. If you want it to be a short pocket, fold it a little more. Just remember, the more you fold, the more bulk you're creating. And in the world of junk journals, bulk is not necessarily your friend. Okay. You're going to tear off this top little piece. Or cut it off. That's the thing about coffee dyed paper, is it then becomes a lot more brittle. So it tears a lot easier.
I'll see.
Okay, then you're going to fold this flap down, glue her down. And again, what you're doing is you're creating structure on the top part of this pocket. I just glued my table. I should be using my glue book.
I feel like I've heard that before.
Not going to worry so much about how plain this one is, because it's going to be covered by this flap, right? You can see I did not fold it even on the third, because I've got this lovely little lip there. That, whatever. Run a bead of glue across the bottom, center. What you're doing is sealing up this pocket. Now, if you don't want to have to then create a long tag to go all the way down in there, say you only folded, this, what is that, an inch maybe? You only folded that down. Now you've got this long pocket that you're going to have to make a huge tag for. If you don't want to make a tag that big, but you want the long look of the pocket, run a bead of glue across the center and you'll create a short pocket, but it won't look like it's a short pocket once it's folded up, if that makes sense. So in fact, I'll just do it. So I'm going to run a bead of glue across here. Then I have to glue. If you do that, you're going to make sure you're going to want to seal that up so you don't get air pockets. So instead of having to create now a tag that's this long, I only have to create one that's this long. It'll slide in, it'll hit where that's glued, and then it won't go any further. Gluing that down. Just discovered I have another hangnail.
I got a blood blister on my finger.
Ouch.
Yeah, I get them like right at the corners of my nails. It's really annoying.
This side, you're going to fold this corner down, close to, but not overlapping. Because again, you want to be able to fold. And if you go right up to it, you're going to interfere with that fold and it's not going to fold over well. It'll buckle on itself instead. What you do with this, again, you can trim it so you only have a small little flap. Or you can leave it as the full triangle. Either way, what you're doing is gluing that down. And I'm going to mop up some of my wet glue here. It's kind of wanting to go everywhere. I have new bottles on order, so hopefully the ones I've ordered don't leak as bad as that one does. See, and I didn't change the look of the pocket. All I did was decrease the bulk that is housed within that pocket. But I've left that folded edge so that I have some structure on the edge of that pocket. It's glued down, so what you're sliding in and out is not going to be impacted at all. Now, this side, you glue the edge and the bottom. Do you have a fine tip glue bottle? Yeah. Okay. The ones I ordered off of Amazon, I think there's like 8 of them, 8 or 12, something, because it was cheaper than ordering 2. So I guess I should make sure I'm in frame. So again, I glued that side and across the bottom, and I'm creating this pocket here. This pocket. I will not run out of Fabrifix anytime soon because also on Amazon, you get 12 bottles for $100.
Damn, I need $100.
So I bought 12 bottles for $100, and they're 8-ounce bottles, no less.
Nice.
So I'm like, I had to buy, because my Sugar Bell has a hole in it. I don't even know where it's at the moment.
Is it not that one right by that pumpkin you just picked up?
No,
Oh.
That one's this one. Oh, upside down. I've tried taping it, but the glue keeps coming out the hole and then up through the tape.
That's kind of awesome.
And it lets air out even still. And so the glue keeps getting like hardened.
Dad have any silicone caulking?
I don't know. So I just ordered.
I do.
I ordered new Sugar Bell bottles, and since I'm getting 8-ounce bottles of glue, I bought 8-ounce Sugar Bell bottles.
Gotcha.
Instead of a 4-ounce. So those are on the way. But yeah, I don't know. And again, like I said, for whatever reason, paper does not fold straight. You know, it's like you would think that paper that is manufactured or is cut in a warehouse, or not a warehouse, in a you know, cut by a machine would be precise and exact, but it's not.
Funny.
Make sure that glue is. That's kind of cute. I like how the folded. So I probably would have gone down just a little bit more, just because you don't know that used to be a heart. You know, so I probably would have gone a little further down, but that's okay. So what you've done is remember, I went halfway, so I don't have that long pocket. This is the depth of that front pocket, or that back pocket, sorry. Goes to there, and that's it, instead of all the way down. And then this one is a long pocket. So, back to the age-old question. A question, I don't know if that's even the right word that I'm looking for, dilemma of the folded pocket extravaganza.
Yes.
How do you glue this in? Do you just glue it down so that you have two pockets? Do you glue it on three sides so that you have a third pocket here? Do you glue it top and bottom and turn it into a belly band? Do you just glue it on one side and this becomes a tuck? The options are endless, and they are yours as the creator.
Mine has a belly band
What?
now. Okay.
Yours has a belly band? Oh,
I had a scrap, so I just
give me just a sec. So I'm going to turn mine into a side pocket. Random glue drip. Stupid bottle. Glue this baby in. Yeah, initially I was going to order my chair this month, but then I started, dealing with the nightmare that is my Sugar Bell bottle, and I'm running out of glue again, and I'm like, okay, I need to get some consumables this month, and maybe next month I'll buy my new chair. Get rid of the squeaky thing. So where did my Edith Holden treat thing go? There it is. So again, you've got your pocket here. Your short pocket here. And now you have a pocket here as well, going onto the side. So how many was that? I didn't even count. So one. So we did this pocket with the even edge up top. This trifold pocket here. So 1, 2, 3 pockets, 4 pockets. So you got a pocket here to put a tag in, or a journaling card, and then a pocket here also, and then the pocket here and here.
I made something totally different.
So there's 2. Well, give me a second, and then we can show all yours.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking to myself.
I should have marked all these, and I wouldn't have to flip back through and find them again. Something I should have learned from Pam at the Paper Outpost. Clearly, I did not.
I love when you put the ribbons on the sides of the pages. I really like that. Like the way it looks.
Where are all the pockets I did today? 3, 4. Oops. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Minus 2 because 2 of them were repeats. So 8 different types of folded pockets, not folded envelopes, folded pockets. And again, it's all using single sheets of paper, and you end up with massive amounts of pockets to play with. And how many pockets you'd make are up to you. And how many, you can have it just as 2 pockets. You can make it, depending on how you glue it in, it could be 4, 5 pockets. Glue it closed and it's only 2 pockets. Leave it just folded so it opens up, it suddenly becomes 6 pockets. So it's really your game to play. And show all your goodies.
Most of mine are just, so they don't have any glue or anything, so they're kind of everywhere.
So I've got Sam working behind me.
Nuh-uh.
So
I'm not here, remember?
So she created a belly band inside her little foldy pocket. So she's got pocket here, a belly band for this pocket, and then also a pocket by itself. So there's that one. I don't even know where you found that paper.
I don't know. Sounds like permission to take it home. You don't know it exists.
So again, she's got this pocket, and she chose to glue that down. So she can either have it as her mom dropping it, 1, 2, 3 pockets, or she can have it as 2 pockets. She could glue it 3 sides and have it as a back pocket, 3 sides this way, have it as a side pocket.
I'm panicking. I can't perform fast enough.
I can't perform fast enough.
Put me under pressure. Wait.
That looks like the Precious Moments paper.
It is. As a matter of fact.
That I recognize. See, and that's cute having the white coming through. I would definitely have to figure out how to fold it so she's not upside down, though.
Yeah. I didn't really think about that at the time.
It's okay.
But I figured, worst case scenario, you just slap some of it around there and you'll never know.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. She has left this one open, closed this one.
What did I leave open?
This one?
Oh.
Did you not mean to leave that side open?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So she'll glue that one when she gets back.
I
But
told you I have panic under pressure.
1, 2, 3 pockets. She glues just this down, then this becomes a 4th pocket. You could even glue across here so that you don't have a big deep pocket. Glue this top corner down and then leave this part open and then have a side pocket coming in, like this, or off this way, off to the side. Lots of options.
I'll just fix that one real quick. Right there.
This is coffee dyed paper. I printed out Christmas 2020, I believe it was, at work. Our holiday theme for our department was the North Pole, and our area of the department, we were the Santa's workshop. So we got all the letters from Santa. And so I printed out all these papers that had little lines on it, and we had the client's children write Dear Santa letters, and we hung them up all over down our hallway. It was really cute. I'll have to post the video. We had a naughty list, a naughty and nice list that was hanging on the wall. I printed out a bunch of envelopes, Dear Santa envelopes, and we hung them from fishing line from the ceiling. And one of my coworkers created like this mail chute out of copy paper. And so we had mail coming out. It was really cute. So I'll have to pull those videos off my phone and post them. But it was really cool. We actually won that year. Our floor won the decorating contest that year. It was really cool. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And again, that depends on how she chooses to glue this into her book, how this back pocket turns out.
Bold of you to assume they get any farther than this.
Glue all this and then just do that U shape and have a side pocket. And then 3 coming in this way. I mean, yeah. Lots of options.
Still wet. Just a warning.
This was the tuxedo fold, I believe.
Yes.
So there's the pocket there.
This will be the time that I misglue something and glue a pocket shut.
That's really cute paper.
Yeah. There's a whole package of it. So
there's a bunch of copy paper over there that I haven't even opened yet. That came in.
I don't know.
I
don't know that.
It came in a bag of stuff that I got at the secondhand store. Yelling. Oops, there went my lid. It's okay. Do you have a sewing machine yet?
Yes. We're not friends. But it's a resident of the household. Yeah.
So yes, you could do that too. If you do it just a running stitch here, here, and here. You can even do one across the top just to kind of finish it off if you want. Just catching that. Or even before you glue it, run a stitch, a stitch, and then poop, 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 and then you have all the different sewing. So here's her metered one. Pocket, 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 pocket. And again, creative liberty on how to create that last pocket. Want a tall, deep one.
I like them tall and deep.
Because in a standard 9x6 journal, this is gonna just barely fit in there at this height. Was this one of the 11x17s?
Sure. I just grabbed it off the shelf.
Is that why it's so much bigger?
Because I have another one that's.
I think it is.
It's
Is it out of that pile right
Yeah.
there? Yeah. So it's one of the 11 by one of the legal size.
And then there's that simple doodad
Yes.
that I'm pretty sure I glued wrong.
And then there's this one. Whoops,
I
upside
didn't
down.
glue enough because, why would I?
So pocket, 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 and pocket. Again, you can either glue it into the center of a signature like I did mine, or when you're sewing your signatures together, put these in there, and when you're sewing it, this center line get sewn in with your signatures, and then your pockets are permanently affixed
That's what I think I'm gonna do with that one.
into your book.
I have a journal that would fit in perfectly.
So that is that. What did I say? 8 different pocket folds?
Yes,
Okay.
because you had 10 plus 2, then that repeats.
10 minus the 2 that
Sorry,
were
yeah.
repeats. So I will put everybody's channel names into the description box. So anybody that's interested in checking out their channels and learning kind of what their aesthetic is in the junk journal world, more power to you. Great. Get some more people out there doing this craft and doing this hobby and having some fun with paper. And and that at the end of the day, that's the thing, is it's paper. If you don't like the way it looks, it's okay. It's just paper.
Recycle it.
Throw it away, recycle it, whatever. I've got 4 bags of paper just waiting for it to not be blowing 100 miles an hour outside so I can go out and throw them in the burn bin. But I have to wait for it to not be blowing 1,000,000 miles an hour first. But with that being said, tomorrow, hopefully, maybe I'll be able to do Thready Thursday. I'm going to do some more icing on my wrist and elbow and hopefully get the inflammation down enough that I stop losing feeling and enough that I can hold on to a needle and be able to actually get some cross stitching done. So if not, we'll still do a live tomorrow and I'll figure out something else to do. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day and find something fun and peaceful to do. Peace out.
Peace.
Find your peace.